Hello everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video we're going to be talking about, can you actually ask questions during your CDL road test? Well, that is a maybe. It depends on the type of question. So there are certain questions that examiners are able to answer for you. However, there are questions on the CDL road test that you cannot ask at all. So in order for you to understand this, first we have to explain what the CDL road test is all about. So the CDL road test is going to be split into 3 different parts. On average, the entire test itself is going to be 2.5 hours long. The first part of the test is usually the longest, which is the pre-trip inspection. Here you're going to have to understand how to inspect both the inside and outside of the vehicle itself. This is the hardest part of the test for most people, and this is where most people do fail the first time, simply because they don't understand exactly what they have to say for the pre-trip. Second step of the test is all about parking the truck 6 different ways, which means you're going to have to know how to do things like back up straight, offset back to the right and to the left, parallel park the tractor trailer on the driver's side and on the passenger side, and alley dock. We're going to be testing you on 3 of those 6 ways. Make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. And then the last part of the test is actually driving the truck on the road itself. So what we're going to do is I'm going to split down each section for you, and I'm going to tell you the questions you can ask and the questions you cannot ask in each section. So step number 1 is going to be that pre-trip inspection test. So this is how it's going to work. You're going to show up to the test, you're going to check in, and then when it's time for your test, the truck's going to be there. Before the test is actually started, you can ask the examiner to kind of give a quick overview of the truck. The examiner cannot teach you on anything in the truck, but the examiner can let you know on where items are in case you don't know where they are. So for instance, if you're a student of ours, you're not even going to need to worry about that because we train you on the same truck you're going to take the test in. However, we have our third-party testing site available for people who just want to take the road test by itself. And with that, most of the time you're going to be testing on a truck that you've never seen before, which means before the test starts, you can ask the examiner to point out a few things, but don't just say, hey, show me everything. You have to say, hey, can you show me where the alternator is before we get started? Can you show me where the water pump is before we get started? And as long as you do those specific type of questions, the examiner will be more than happy to help you out before the test actually starts, because we want to make sure that you know at least where everything is. Now, after that's all taken care of, if you don't ask any questions, the examiner is going to move on to the next part, which is reading you the instructions for the test itself. You can ask as many questions as you want to clarify the instructions. So make sure you fully understand the instructions before you move forward. In most cases, all the instructions are going to say is, hey, please do the inspection of the vehicle just like the CDL manual asks you to do. You actually get to choose if you want to start on the inside or the outside of the vehicle. It's up to you entirely. The only thing that you have to understand is when you take the test at our third-party testing site, you have to do the entire vehicle inspection, which means the entire outside of the vehicle and the entire inside of the vehicle. You get to pick which one you want to do first, right? Now, while you're doing the actual inspection itself, that's when the questions stop. So there, the examiner cannot technically answer any other questions from there. Now, the examiner, if he does not hear you, he might ask you a question and say, hey, can you repeat yourself? Can you speak up? Because if we can't hear you, we can't grade you, and we want to give you the most fair chance available. So don't be asking questions like, what is this thing called again? Or what do I have to say about this thing again? At the end of the day, it's your test. We can't give you any of those answers that you're looking for, right? So that's pretty much the whole first section of the test. The second part of the test is all about parking the truck. Here is going to be kind of similar. So when it comes to parking the vehicle, this is how it's going to work. The examiner is going to be reading you a set of instructions. You can ask as many questions as you want to make sure you fully understand the instructions itself. Now, the instructions are going to tell you where you should start your vehicle, where you should end up, when you should honk your horn when you are done with the vehicle. Make sure you fully understand those questions, because if you get those wrong, then you will not pass the test, right? So that's a very, very silly thing to happen. To give you an example, say there's a set of cones right over here, and all of a sudden you start backing up, and the examiner told you make sure the front of your vehicle is behind the first set of cones, and all of a sudden you think he said something else, but you stop here, that's pretty much a fail, right? So you definitely want to make sure you fully ask all the questions that you want so you understand the directions. When you get into the truck itself and you start to maneuver, that's when the questions stop. You can't say, hey, which way should I turn again? Or where did you say I gotta stop again? Or anything like that, because now you had a chance to ask all the questions that you wanted. The examiner is gonna ask you, hey, do you have any other questions? You're going to say, no, I'm good, and that's it, right? So So that's going to be the same thing for all three maneuvers that go on. And then when it comes to the road test, same type of situation. What you're going to do is the examiner is going to read you the instructions for the test, exactly what's going to be happening. He's going to be giving you the directions during the test itself and telling you which way to go. The questions that you can ask are going to be things like, hey, did you say this light or the next light? Make a left. Am I making a left here? Am I making a left there? You can clarify things like that. That's okay. You can also talk to yourself as much as you want. There's students who go in there when they're shifting and make sure they're talking to themselves to make sure they don't forget what gear they're in. You cannot ask the examiner, hey, what gear am I in again? Or how do I shift again? Or anything like that, right? If you have to ask the examiner, hey, did I hit a curb? That's also a bad question to ask, because if you hit one curb for the test, you're done. So I hope this helped you out, and understand that it's our job to try to make the road test as simple as possible for you. If you are a student here at Driving Academy, we're going to be giving you the training on the same trucks you're going to take the road test in, so it's going to be much easier for you to pass your test. However, if you're not a student at Driving Academy, we have our own third-party testing site that can give you just a CDL road test by itself. So either way, if you need help on any one of those things, give us a call, 908-525-3609, or take a virtual school tour to see more information on exactly how our courses work at cdldrivingacademy.com/tour, cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.